Good evening, everyone. Such a wonderful crowd here tonight. I'm so excited to see all of you. I'm Susan Salter. I'm president of WIVLA, Women in Visual and Literary Arts. And I'm just absolutely delighted that you're all here for our 2026 WIVLA collaboration. Just some background on our collaboration, if you'll allow me to do that. Our collaboration exhibit and literary reading is one of WIVLA's signature events and is held every 2 years. Each collaboration begins with a single theme that invites our visual artists and writers to work together in creating entirely new pieces. Over the years, we've explored such themes as entangled, reflection, and compassion. And this year, we ventured into the wonderfully unpredictable world of wild. Woohoo! And what an incredible response we had. In fact, we had such an incredible response that for our next collaboration in 2028, we're going to have to find a bigger venue. This year, 23 visual artists and 23 literary artists accepted the challenge, pairing their talents to create original work that celebrate many of the meanings of wild. Wild speaks to what is untamed, instinctive, and uncontained. It's a space beyond rules and refinement, where emotion, intuition, and raw experience lead. Wild can appear as nature, inner landscape, memory, rebellion, transformation. It invites the artist to explore freedom, intensity, and the beauty found in disorder, risk, and vulnerability. Tonight, you'll experience those interpretations through paintings, sculpture, photography, poetry, fiction, and more. Every piece represents a creative conversation between two artists, each inspiring the other in unexpected ways. Before we begin tonight, I'd like to share the mission that has guided WIVLA for over 30 years. WIVLA's mission is to provide an inspiring forum for women to explore and advance their creative development, to promote their work in the marketplace, and to infuse the community with their spirit of cooperation and invention. Tonight, you will see that mission come alive. This evening is a celebration of artists, encouraging artists, writers, inspiring painters, and creative minds discovering something entirely new together. The spirit of collaboration reaches all the way back to the beginnings of WIVLA. WIVLA was born from a conversation among Carleen Cohen, Janine Thompson, and Martha Scow, a writer, an artist, and an art consultant who belonged to a professional businesswomen's organization. They experienced firsthand the value of intellectual stimulation, friendship, and professional networking, and imagined a similar organization where women, artists, and writers could encourage one another and flourish together. Carleen wanted to be here tonight, but she has a very important task to do tonight. She's on grandma duty. And I know all about grandma duty, how important that is. In the years between our collaboration events, oh wait, I forgot a little part here that's important. In September of 1994, WIVLA held its first exhibition at Texas Art. At that opening reception, 11 writers shared readings of their work alongside the visual exhibition. 3 years later, in 1997, they created the first anthology entitled Conversations. That tradition has continued to this day. They had 50 members at that time. We now have 138. And growing all the time. WIVLA has gone on to presenting exhibitions and readings in galleries, museums, libraries, and alternative venues throughout our community, always celebrating the rich partnership between the visual and the literary. In the years between our collaboration events, WIVLA also hosts a biennial juried exhibition, giving our members another opportunity to exhibit their finest work before distinguished jurors and the public. Together, these two major events showcase both the collaborative spirit and the individual artistic excellence that define WIVLA. Our literary program continues to grow as well. Last year, our dedicated literary chairs created WIVLA's first anthology, Resilience, providing our writers with yet another meaningful way to share their voices and preserve their work. It was an exciting milestone for our organization, and one we hope will continue for years to come. All of our events are on our WIVLA calendar. You can go to wivla.org and see everything that we're up to these days. Some of our events are open to the public, so we encourage you to check out those events on our calendar. As you see, some of our members tonight are wearing another wonderful example of WIVLA creativity. Boink! And that was very creative, wasn't it? I was going to show it. Now you can see the T-shirt. Oh, well. It's going to get wilder, believe me. The T-shirt was designed by Susan Meeks, and she's here tonight. And congratulations on having your beautiful design selected for this year's collaboration. And oh yes, you can. You can wear it front or back. All right, so enough of this, enough from me. We want to hear from our literary people and introduce you to our artists. So I'm going to be calling the names of each collaboration team. Please come up to the podium, and would the visual members stand to the left of the literary member. So our first team tonight is Sandi Stromberg and Lane Devereux.
Okay, the tiara is maybe one of the wildest things I've done in my life. I was with my college roommate in Ashland, Oregon for the Shakespeare Festival. Now, we've known each other 60 years, and she sees these tiaras and she said, "You need one." And I said, "Oh, no, that's not me." And so she put one on, and then she said, "Okay, you try it." And then I did, and she said, "You're buying it." So here I am in my tiara. When Lane and I got together, I thought, well, I didn't have too much while to talk about. And she said, 1968. And I said, wow. So here we go. Some of you weren't born yet. Some of you were teenagers. Some of you were children. but I think 1968 has a place in our minds because of so many things that happened. I couldn't put them all in this poem, or we'd be here all night. Wild things in a mythic time. 18 and 21 in 1968, we break through Midwestern tame into the age of Aquarius. It's the year of the earth monkey, the Annus Mirabilis, says Time magazine, a miracle year that turns the world upside down. We become flower children, and free love is free, or so we think. We roll with the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, rock with the Rolling Stones, Satisfaction. We sing out, Wild Thing, I Think I Love You. And Born to Be Wild gets our motors running on the dance floor, the monkey, the pony, the mashed potato. We let down our hair, straighten it with lemonade cans, wear platform shoes and bell bottoms, ditch garter belts and shaving legs. Television alternates between outrageous and wholesome. Laugh-In paints Goldie Hawn's body gold, and Tiny Tim tiptoes through the tulips. We begin to say, you bet your sweet bippy. Call positive things rad, downturns, bummers. Family Affair, Andy Griffith and the Beverly Hillbillies stage the American dream. Happiness despite hardship, if a family pulls together. Off-screen recklessness and change rules. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison push the edges of life, sing like there is no tomorrow until there isn't. Lava lamps drip dim light in shadowy rooms. Black light posters rage with neon colors and psychedelic landscapes. We fall under the heavy metal spell of Black Sabbath, its dark, forbidding beat, tolling bells and thunderstorms, body bags arriving nightly from Vietnam. As innocence dies, we burn bras and draft cards. Some join SDS, the weathermen. Head shops peddle bongs, pipes, and rolling papers. Puff the magic dragon hints at weeds promise. Assassinations shock. Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy. Washington, D.C. set on fire. Revolution in Chicago at the Democratic Convention. Marvin Gaye is crowned Prince of Motown. Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding, and a whole choir, both out of Detroit, to claim venues in a wider world. We protest oppression, demanding power to the people. Wear peace signs on T-shirts, wage fights for the new civil rights. Pants, join women's wardrobe. Four-letter words, their vocabulary. Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique, births now, the National Organization for Women with its Bill of Rights. WEAL demands action for equity. WLM demands liberation. They call 1968 a year off the rails, mythic. They call it a perverse genius of a year. We call it a revolution against the establishment, a push for equality for women and blacks in music, at drinking fountains, on the roads, in shops and schools and cinemas and voting booths. We aren't sure what they look like, but we long for intangibles like hope, peace, love. A girl putting a daisy in the muzzle of a gun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful reminder of all of those wonderful songs and organizations. I loved it. Our next team is Chris Gorman and Robin Beckwith.
Hi, my piece short. Did you want to say something about your beautiful work?
Oh, well, I don't know. She's the worst. She's the worst person, and I think we're just kind of letting the work speak for itself. It's the one with the red and the face in the moon.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I just wanted to give equal time. Because sometimes I feel like visual artists, they need to say more, because sometimes I don't understand stuff, you know. I always wonder what they're thinking. I only know what I'm thinking. So, anywho, my piece is called Biddy and the Kit Coins. And when I saw her piece, all I could think of is kitten season. I don't know what your algorithm looks like right now. It's raining kittens. On my feed, anyway. Biddy and the Kit Coins. Biddy, where are your babies? I hadn't named all of the cats in the feral colony I was feeding, but this young mother always caught my eye. The rest of the cats had scattered already. It seemed like they knew that the rescue had lost its funding. This was the last bag of food I was going to be able to bring. Biddy was hard to track as she headed towards the ATM machine at the Dead Mall. She jumped up on the blackened screen, and that's when I heard it, a rustle and a squeak from inside the deposit drawer. I said, "Oh, girl, I guess we're doing this." And I leaned down and I took my hand and started working it up the front of the machine, my arm at impossible seeming angles until it had swallowed me all the way up to the shoulder. I said, "Oh, I hate it here." And I made a frantic grab for my keys. And I found the key to the storage building I forgot to pay for about a year ago. And I reached behind the machine and I found the seam on it and I jammed that key in there. One big heave, and the front of that machine popped open, and suddenly I am covered with kittens and dusty $20 bills. Biddy just looked at me and she looked very carefully, tenderly behind her daughter's ear. Okay, now I want to take advantage of the acoustics. If I can get one feral cat yowl, the kind you hear when you're trying to sleep. 1, 2, 3. Do it. Yeah, I couldn't waste that. Thank y'all. This is fun.
Okay. Our next team is Beth Tunnell Howard and Bernadette Wolff.
Hi, my name's Bernadette, and this is Beth.
I'm Beth.
And Beth is actually the poet, but she
Gonna read for me.
She asked me if I would read for her. And I hope you can picture a meaningful interpretation from our collaboration. And we'll be happy to discuss with you our serendipitous collaboration afterwards. Imagine, by Beth Tunnell Howard. I saw beautiful flowers on my almost walk today at night, so colorful, I heard the music in my eyes. Tons of flowers and tiny musicians played huge, the most colorful creators, and all the comforts imaginable were there to be lived. It was my music I heard that day of night. I live, in dream ears and inside my eyelids. I am. Thank you.
Next, we have Dedra Murchison and Deborah Ellington.
This piece is called Current History. Fire changed everything. What was solid is now fluid. Colors dance together. Some retain their brilliance. Others blend together, dark and somber. A contrast in value. The light breaks through.
Our next team is Katherine Gentry and Jessica Parsons. There she is. I didn't see you. I'm glad to see you're here. No problem.
Sorry, Jess Parsons could not be here this evening, but ours is also cats, and I think the funny idea that the cats are wild. Both between the two of us, I think we've adopted 12 cats. Not all at the same time, but between us. Ours is called Wild Inside. The cat visits my porch in the evenings when the sun goes down and my TV goes on. Uninvited and unbothered, she pushes up against the window, her meow so loud it can be heard through the glass, while my inside cat watches, fascinated by this nightly apparition, this ghost of wildness, a cat without a monogram bowl or a basket of toys. The inside cat takes his food at leisure, little circles and triangles of salmon-flavored joy. He picks and chooses, batting bits across the floor and under the rug. But the outside cat greedily consumes it all, leaving only the flimsy paper plate. Sometimes she disappears for days, and I imagine the other lives she must lead. I feel a pang of envy at her freedom, her choice to stay or to leave. She hisses at people, but not at the cat, the indoor one, who never ventures outside where she lives. She prefers it that way, an inside-the-window boyfriend, kept behind the glass, perfect in his silence. When she presses her nose to the pane that separates them, she can imagine he offers only compliments, declarations of love, his eloquence never in question or marred by awkward silence. When he falls asleep, purring contentedly in his fluffy pink bed, she sits, wrapping her tail around herself. Her golden eyes stray to the TV screen, lured by the flickering images. She's fascinated by reality TV, like the catnip it is to me. We watch as the people on screen fall in love, then bicker and clash, claws out with a yowling that threatens to drown out meeting. But we're safe, the cat and me, on the outside looking in. With a flick of her tail, she blinks at me like she understands, and the show ends. I changed the channel to a documentary about birds, but She's not interested, turning away to stare at the streetlight or the moon. I can't tell which. The next morning, I'm surprised to see her back on the porch. I'm holding her plate of food when she suddenly leaps, front paws clasping and teeth flashing to capture a bird out of the sky. A look of satisfaction gleams in her eye as she eats her breakfast. Not little triangles after all. For a moment, I forgot cats are wild. I go back inside. Cats have 9 lives, they say, but I only have 1. Like a caged tiger treading the confines of its enclosure, I know this space. I've paced it for years, invisible lines that hem me in, tightening the outline of my existence. And I can't escape, even when I scratch at the soft surroundings, the plush carpet and upholstered furniture. I can feel my ears flattening back, my hackles up, my back arching, trying to make myself bigger. I want to dig my nails in, sharpening my claws, and my sense that there is more, that I am more than what's inside.
I think we have a lot of cat lovers in our membership. Our next reader is Jean King with Joe Zider as her partner.
Joe, where are you? Get up here. I'm not standing here by myself, particularly with what I'm going to read. Okay, so we sat around and had lunch over and over again, and we talked a lot about David Attenborough. And so the piece, I really admired all of the pieces that came before this, which were the Parasite series.
Oh, mine.
Yes,
Parasites.
her work. So that brought this on, and it's all her fault. It's not mine. Okay, I think I've got it where I can read it. May not be big enough. Okay. No? We have to go. Is that the one, or? Hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there.
You did write it.
I did write it. Yes, I did. 16 legs and 14 eyes. Life on Earth is amazingly complex. We can barely imagine a spider's life, let alone what's on their minds. Even wilder is the strange attraction between these two, the deadly black widow and the equally dangerous brown recluse. Who would believe the drab brown recluse could appeal to this attractive lady spider, all shiny patent leather black with a red hourglass tattoo on her abdomen? The recluse is not known for his scintillating, witty conversational skills or his attractive appearance. I really like your jacket. Ah, alas for our friend the recluse. We watch her turn and walk away. Later, at their next encounter, what's with your eyes? The better to focus on you, my dear. If you want, I'll put on my glasses to compensate. He has only 6 eyes, to her 8. They do have some things in common. They both like to hide their true nature in the webs they weave. I'm just a working-class spider from Long Island with immigrant spider parents. Or so he would like her to believe. The recluse lives up to his name, building a tangled silk retreat. He's cozy hanging out with the elites in Washington, but he prefers living in Las Vegas in a billionaire's home. She creates a strong, irregular web, possibly due to her rather chaotic background. She's quite well-traveled for a spider. This little spider is deceptive. I'm just a little old country spider from Arkansas. But she was born in Boston and went to a private boarding school in Switzerland. She's been around, lived in England, tried to be an actress in LA, and now she lives in Nashville. Amazing. And all this before deciding to become a country music spider. She has a painful neurotoxic bite. She's bitten at least 3 of her critics to punish them for saying she eats her mates. Female black widows do often devour their mates once they've outlived their usefulness. Why, I would never do such a thing in my little life. His bite is initially painless, but his venom is hemolytic and leads to festering necrotic ulcers that take months to heal and leave nasty scars. Don't tell anyone, but he had to resolve alleged False Claims Act liability in 2011 due to a little biting incident. He recently sued another spider for saying he liked poison too much. Black widows often act coy and helpless as part of the mating ritual. I'm feeling very vulnerable. My red hourglass seems to attract too much attention. I'm scared. I'm so little and defenseless. Once he chooses a mate, the recluse is both protective and possessive of his mate. Don't worry, I have a whole bunch of little spiderlings I'll send over to protect you. They'll guard you everywhere. Everywhere? Even at the hairdresser's. This way I won't have to worry about you taking up with any handsome black widower spider. Sometimes, even a spider can lose his choice mate, whether due to bad publicity or loss of position. Even spiders have to consider their reputations. I saw the video of you in Italy, and I watched you in that hearing the other day. It looked real bad. With my public presence as a rising country western spider, I cannot afford to be associated with you any further. Although we have yet to observe them mating, things have come to an unfortunate end for our friend the recluse. This is the end of our time together, she mumbled, as she takes a biteful of one of his legs.
I actually had a dream about a spider the other night, and I think it was after I read that poem. I hope I don't have another one tonight. So, our next team is Denise Bossarte and Melody Locke.
No spiders will be harmed. So when Melody and I started talking about working together, we're both photographers, so we gelled in that sense, but I'm also a writer. And she showed me a couple of her infrared photographs. And I guess it was through the printing process you decided which one you really wanted to work with. So she came up with this image, and we both were like, that's really kind of spooky and sinister looking. Do you want to say anything about the photograph of where you took it? Oh, okay. So anyway, we went with that theme in the writing. And to read, I need my glasses. The forest. I signed the letter, folded it in thirds, and slid it into the envelope. I set it, unsealed, on the table beside a copy of my husband's death certificate, smoothing it down as my hand ran over my name on the front. I wanted to make sure, no matter who or how I returned tonight, I would know why I did it. I stepped out into the sultry night, silent except for the incessant calls of the frogs along the edge of the lake, my steps taking me without hesitation to the forest. Tonight, for the first time in months, I was awake on my own volition, not jolted upright by the nightmare I would spend the rest of my sleepless night trying to forget. My burning house turned into the metaphor of the burning inside my body. The doctor's disembodied voice echoing on repeat. Stage 4, inoperable, months left. I came here to escape and rented the small cottage by the lake in the woods. It had stood empty for years, the locals afraid it was haunted. But the only ghosts I found were the ones I brought with me. The lights first appeared the night of the spring equinox as I sat in the window trying to distract myself by staring at the forest. When I asked the red-vested man at Ace Hardware if fireflies were unusual this early, he grunted a single word, "Elfsji," then turned and walked away tight-lipped. My curiosity took me to the town library. After a dozen visits, the librarian was persuaded to tell me of the local stories of disappearances, miracles, and induced madness. Her tales were filled with warnings of engaging with the mercurial forest creatures, as there's always a cost for their help. Monkey's paw had nothing on them. I spent weeks reading on the computer in the library, my empty days filled with searching for answers. The only formula that seemed to apply was to be very clear and consistent about your want and to be willing to risk it all. On the summer solstice, I went out to them. Standing at the edge of the forest as the night bleeds into the trees, I open my arms in greeting, offering them my twin fires, the memories of my burning home and the burning in my body. My fires leapt to meet theirs as they swarmed out to surround me. Thank you.
Thank you. That noise that you're hearing in the background is not another cat screeching. It's the air conditioner coming on. Our next team is Brooke Summers Perry and Ruby R. Scott.
I was delighted when Ruby and I paired up because we have kind of a similar passion about what we think of when we think of wild. So this was a delight. Wildly won. Do you want to say anything?
And she is such a marvelous writer. Oh my dear, I am blown away.
Thank you.
So
Don't oversell
get
it.
close. Get close, because this is beautiful. Beautiful.
Wildly one. We are woven threads of one cloth, vines draping, roots reaching, branches stretching, interlocking and ever expanding. We are rising and falling tides of one sea, gravity pulling, icebergs receding, tributaries flowing, soothing and state changing. We are lobes of one lung, life receiving, impurities filtering, leaves rustling, amplifying and harmonizing. We are one ground of being, harvests nourishing, paths wearing, mounds undulating, shifting and cradling. We are flames of one fire, source shimmering, skin glowing, warmth enduring, shining and sustaining. We are scorched earth and rebirth. We are once wrangled roots, unbound. We're a chorus of songs finally sung. We are a rush of rapids released. We are ablaze with passion and possibility. We are wildly one.
I don't know about you, but there's so many lines that I'm hearing tonight that I want to remember, so I'm glad we have a publication, and you'll find out more about that later. Next, we have Melissa Chambers and Shirley Beyer.
not like to say anything.
Are you sure? All right. Okay. This is called Wild Enough. There's an agitated current under the surface, waiting to take flight on a wild wind. Coyotes howl at the nearing night. Earthquakes spawn tsunamis half a world away. Wildebeest thrash through the low reeds. And the Grand Canyon creaks and whispers, igniting a sensation deep within of excitement and fear and thunderclaps, a longing and a remembrance of feral times. But the sensation withers with, what will people think? Don't embarrass the family. That's not very ladylike. Be tame, responsible, a rule follower, private. But now and then, wild things break loose, run amok. The experience ending badly, shame helps put it back in its box. Guilt devises new warning alarms. But as the wild river shapes its banks, a creative creature claws at the edges, rips at the boundaries, questions, searches for the uncharted, becoming wild enough to paint the fury and write the pain, open enough to reveal the sad and silly, proud and scared, untethered enough to love big, laugh loud, hold its own opinion, finding comfort in the unpredictable.
I like asking that question. Can you ever be wild enough? Next is my partner, Jere Pfister. While she's coming up here, I'll tell you that Jere and I have known each other for decades. We went to, we got our master's degree together at University of Houston in theater, and I directed one of her plays. And I wanted Jere to be my partner because she's pretty edgy and she speaks the truth, so buckle up.
Mostly these days I'm old.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let me turn this around for you.
Okay.
There you go. That's as far as you need to go.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. Good. So the title of my piece is I'm Wild About You, Baby. Imagine having 8 brains that extend from 8 arms that grow back if lost or eaten by a shark. And I'm not talking about a lone shark. I'm talking about women eaters. You know the kind I mean. I'm just fat, disgusting men who have a certain power, or so they think. Now here we go. And I'm not sure what this is. Okay. So if you're a snatch, if your snatch is as quick as a swordfish in a sea of bubbles. Oh, I know it now. See what I mean? They'll snatch your snatch as quick as a swordfish in a sea of bubbles. You got to proceed yourself, protect yourself with a weapon of choice. And if you want to make your way in days in deep water, like, I'm going to take off these glasses. So, let's continue with that verse. like a spike. Oh, okay. You got to protect yourself with, now I gotta put this down on here so it doesn't shake so much. You know, it's really hard. Okay.
I'm going to hold it for you.
You gotta protect yourself with a weapon of choice if you want to make your way in deep water, like the spike heel of a shoe slammed into the eye of the beholder. Speaking of eyes, you have another brain that enables you to see your enemies. Just right there. You know the kind who would do you harm if ever they got too close. We're talking, have a backup plan before you leave your comfy abode in a shelf of coral with sea urchins that camouflage your place in the sand where you sleep. And you, so young, when the male swims on top of you, sticking his short arm into you, making your eggs drop as your mate begins his dying process, you eat him. Your maternal instinct is so strong, you lay on your eggs, protecting them, fighting off predators, while humankind nurtures and provides for babes and children we raise sometimes. And there is the difference between our species. Humans can decide to abort our eggs and babes. We have the choice, but at what cost? But I'm in muddy waters here. You not only have intelligence, but you feel pain like humans who slice and dice and grill, like lobsters and crabs who suffer when boiled and grilled. Besides, you can crawl into crab cages and find your way out after a meal of crustaceans. Oh, when science set up glass labyrinths, you find your way to food with a tentacle each. You crawl through drain pipes to find a path from one tank to another like a sneak thief. I've lost my fear of you and learned deeper compassion along the way. For all the creatures on land and sea, in the coral reefs and habitats of wild beasts, and you, my friend, love us back like the farm animals that lick our faces and nuzzle.
Is that wild enough for you? Next we have Katherine McDaniel and Jamie Frontiera.
Jamie and I got together and over lunch at Bella Green started talking about Eve. And we were thinking maybe there was a story there that hadn't been told quite like this. And this is a story I've wanted to tell for a while. And she absolutely made it beautifully in wood. So the poem is called The Gospel of No Separation. It's in 3 parts, so you'll be here a while. But the first section is called Umbilical Vine. The first electric moment, light and shadow are born. Presence and absence, not 2 things, but evidence of one. Newly alive, she inhales exhilaration, follows the drum beat of her racing heart from cave to mountain, discovering kindred, reaching to soothe, laughter budding through life in fearless welcome. He stands apart, naming, claiming, grasping control, while inward appetite swirls, an aching desire outpacing empathy. Obsessed with sacredness, how he might enter and possess it. A pulsing hunger filling the seam between the heart of darkness and gathered light. But there is no heart of darkness other than his own. Only gatherings of light and shadow, dancing in counterpoint beyond his understanding. Moving freely through her soul, intertwined with beasts and foliage, God is a vine, connected and growing through all, and speaks, there is no separation. Touching her holiness, Spirit places the world and its future in her body. She is so much, too much. He wants wildness rationed so that it never overwhelms him, but it burns in his blood. So he tightens his grip and makes it serve him. Blessed be the time. There is a tree in the garden. As a girl, she climbed its branches, safe in its concealing arms, as caressing leaves threaded themselves through her hair. A tree snake slithered, a lithe green serpent, holding no venom, but sweet of voice and spirit. Today the tree is heavy with fruit and bends to touch the ground, the weight of the knowledge it bears, threatening to split its graceful trunk. Subtle slithering, a round orb drops. She lifts it from the dust, breathes its fresh scent, and greets the giver. She does not think of danger, of warnings from men professing God's will, because God is here. Her lips stroke the supple skin. Her teeth break into sweetness, and she feels herself whole, darkness and light conjoined. There is no separation. The call. Shutting her eyes as time slows in fullness, she begins to flower, seed and tree and grove all at once, ecosystem unfolding in every direction. Her story is our story. We were taught its shadow. But wildness cannot be colonized. It grows hot to the touch, turns from ownership, exploitation, extraction, into the vastness of being. Darkness embroidered with light. Nature spurns our insecurities, yet Eve waits, her invitation tugging at our flinty souls. Seed of my soul, seed of my body, come back to the tree. Come as you are, full of gratitude or ash. Wildness calls you across the wide field of being, where roots first tasted darkness and reached for light. Turn from empire's hunger toward the slow greening of the world, the tending of each fragile, unfurling life. We made the sacred a wound, bending the arc of our invention toward harm, falling back into ourselves. We ran from the source of life, pursued only by love, like shadows fleeing the light. There is no separation.
The mind of a poet. Ooh, gotta love it. Next we have Robin Beckwith, Amanda Silva, and Rona Lesser. Just a second, then I'll find it for you.
Thank you. And an extra guest. Yeah. The other one is in the back somewhere drumming.
Our collaboration brings together the voices and sensibilities of three mythical females. Rona represents the sensibilities brought from the maybe biblical figure of Lilith, and Amanda represents the sensibilities of the goddess Kali, and for myself, I represent the sensibilities of the goddess Artemis. And my poem is titled Artemis Speaks. Our race of clever creatures trash this demi-paradise, favoring Brother Mars. It's all about invasion, plunder, conquest, and lunatic dreams. All to learn we are bound to Earth by laws known to our atoms but not our minds. I watch, dismayed, even disheartened, but holding fast to hope. I shoulder my archer's bow, my quiver of arrows, not for sport, but need, and walk this uncertain, brambled path. What wild animals remain, whether lion, insect, krill, or hawk, follow as best they can amid the silvery night forest ocean. All manner of kind and vulnerable beings, human and otherworldly, join from caves and crevices, hilltops and dusty roads. This wild and motley cohort, bound by ambition to aligning each cell of each unique life to the hardest learning, dedicating all dedicating their lives to truth, from the laws of physics to what really happened, when and where and who and even how and why. All cry out, each voice different, soft or loud, resist. Resist the lifeless wilderness, the anarchy, the agony of billions upon billions of neurons tangled, blasted, flipped, and twisting. Resist the brain of willy-nilly, the tantrums of rested privilege. Resist the cruel gnarl of lies, the bloat of swagger and whim. Resist rage and terror let loose upon fine and trusting innocent lives. Resist the hideous talons of ego run amok. Resist this wretched excess. Choose instead the grace, the care, the deep and calm, the difficult, even-handed, quiet, ever firm and holding fast to hope. Oh, choose instead the grace, uncertain path, the steadfast work, your soul. The grace, hard work of peace.
Our next presenters are Kathi Crawford and Marie Casamayor-Harvey.
Okay. Hey, everyone. This is titled Space Time. Sometimes we just need a little breathing space to come back down to earth. Once in a blue moon, I become distracted, preoccupied, or unfocused from the present moment, and quite simply space out. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize you can't accomplish everything under the sun in the space of time you have. When I am pressed, I sometimes find connections in a third place, a safe space. I figure if I shoot for the moon, I might just land amongst the starry space. I don't want to be a waste of space while I am on this planet. Watch my world line to witness the multiverse emerge from a black hole. In case of space, break here. Thank you.
You can tell our poets and writers our artists really form a bond when they're working on this. It's beautiful to watch. Our next presenter is Margo Stutts Toombs. Her partner cannot be present with us tonight. Donna Perkins is her partner. I don't want to knock it over again.
Whoa, Nellie. You good? Can you hear okay? No. No, a little
Can you
closer.
take it off there?
Yeah. You want me to hold it? How's that? Is that better? Is that better? Well, what a great turnout. Thank you, everyone, for coming. This is great. Yeah, I'm a little mobility challenged right now, so that's wild for me. My partner, Donna Perkins, isn't that beautiful? Don't buy it. I plan to buy it. Donna's on a great trip in Alaska. but she wanted me to tell you some things. She wanted you to know that the person that we collaborated about, oh God, I'm gonna cry. All right, how many of you knew Diana Weeks? Okay, she was a member of WIVLA. She was a force to reckon with. Donna said, Diana was a remarkably free spirit. She was a wild woman that Donna greatly admired. Me too. Her first thought about her painting was lace, because Diana loved clothes. So to achieve a lacy look in her painting, Donna used lace as part of the stencil layout. And then she made a number of stenciled images in the first layer with acrylic paint. And then she also applied some stencil work on the topmost layers using oil paint. Donna wanted me to let you know that everything you see in her work is paint. There was no lace, only paint. So her piece is called Hungry Hearted Diana. Now on my piece, you will see a QR code, and that will take you to an excerpt of a video I made back in 2008 of a WIVLA collaboration about Diana Weeks. It was called Sweet Diana, and that collaboration was Kay Sarver and Louisa Smith. I did an excerpt because the video was too long. If you want the full naughty version, go to my YouTube channel. It's at the bottom because it's one of the first ones I made. The audio was terrible, but you get the idea. My piece is Wild Diana. She loved men. She adored sex. She embraced her naughty side. She penned stories of her lovers. She was too classy to reveal identities. She commanded the stage. In one show, whenever the director yelled, the line is to chutzpah, to life, she would belt out, to hospice, to life. She never said the right word during rehearsals or the performance. She directed videographers to stand on a ladder when they filmed to make her look younger. Should I have mentioned that? She invited people to her home adorned in lace, silky scarves, and twinkling lights. In her lair, she concocted meals with treasures from her pantry and refrigerator. A strange array of flavors and textures. Shrimp with a side of oatmeal, peas, and mandarin oranges. But the main course was always her stories of romance and adventure. You are probably wondering what happened to this wild woman. It's wild that she forgot everything before she faded away. It's wild that she left us with just a few of her memories. It's wild and sad that we don't have her here in her glorious flesh. Thank you.
She gave me a message for, yes. Hello, everyone. Great turnout. Mary Balagia is my partner for this collaboration, and she has a little message. She said, I just wanted to say how meaningful this collaboration has been, and how even though our life experiences have been different, The two of us are passionate about encouraging women to be bold, in building each other up, to hold hands as if they are rooted together, and to know without a doubt that that is already enough. That's from Mary. And it's a beautiful piece she did. She titled her work, She's a Wildflower. And the title of my poem is Flower in Concrete. Showing up in the most unexpected places is our forte. Whether in bright, fluffy yellow or vivid, spiky purple, she's seen in sidewalk cracks, driveway fissures, even blooming through old asphalt roads. Our audacity to make room for ourselves, to reclaim what is rightly ours, in places meant to stifle our ideals without the concrete mix of societal boundaries. Displaced, carelessly thrown into debris, no one gave her a chance of survival. Turning dirt into home, she survives against odds. Pressed on all sides to give up her dream, to shut up and remain in the dark. She squeezes through the trouble and breaks the bounds. Confused by the surrounding darkness, her taproot drives deeper into soil, wedging into hidden crevices, seeking the light within her soul until the ground cracks open, a pathway to kiss a ray of sunlight. She is in competition with no one but herself, blooming in hostile environments. She thrives in adversity, risking it all, free and bound. She lets herself grow untamed, knowing she could be trampled at any time, plucked and thrown aside, yet she knows she will always find her way. Through weathering storms of life, she has learned to exploit tiny fractures. She's learned to be wild. She's learned to be untamed and to self-propel through the gaps in the urban system meant to stifle our upbringing. Thank you.
Our next team is Regina Vitolo. I always want to say Regina Vitolo. Is that okay? And Abby Buckold.
Okay, let's see. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah, is that too close? Okay, so Abby and I met at one of our monthly WIVLA member meetings, and we ended up staying to do the little speed dating round to find who we wanted to partner with or who we were like a good fit with. And Abby and I, we talked a little bit about what we'd been experiencing in life lately, particularly when you're entering this, you know, for women, this special biological transition and middle age. And I found out that like myself, Abby is also a professional librarian. And so we had a lot in common, a lot to talk about. We followed each other on Instagram and we were like, oh my gosh, you know, we like so many of the same things. And when Abby showed me some of her art to determine whether or not we wanted to pair together for this, many of her pieces were inspired by the forest and creatures, and she does amazing like ink drawings. And her picture here, Fox Watches the Storm, was inspiration for parts of my poem. And I think also the themes that are in my poem, they are very much very slice of life for me, about I guess daily experiences, running into walls of misogyny on the news and in academic departments and in other places in public, and learning how to temper those emotions that want to bubble to the top when during this phase of life, right? Okay, so I'll go ahead. I'm sure almost everyone in this room can relate, but I'll go ahead and start. Something in the woods. I'm standing outside, facing the woods, and the sky is ominous. I'm here to plead with the peace of wild things to help temper the rage roiling beneath my skin. And I think about something Tori Amos once said. Girls, when you're 50, you'll know what fire is. I'm standing outside, facing man-made woods, and I hesitate to enter a facsimile oasis tamed and designed by men. But there is no denying the beauty before me. The scene is wild with the sublime. Something in the woods calls to me, and Mother Nature draws me in. I urge myself to appreciate the strategically planted pine trees and the Mexican sycamores winding around a manufactured lake. The water waves blue, the path winds red, and the trees grow brown and ash and shades of green. This beauty refuses to be tamed, and I think, some of us know fire by the time we are 16. The sky is threatening rain, and I take comfort in this mirroring of my emotions. I step into the comfort of the trees, and I immediately feel a balancing of light and dark in my own predictable nature. I gingerly step deeper into the woods, like dipping toes into a lake, with plans to displace or transmute the electricity my mood creates. Now, I am one with the woods like a fox, silently and intelligently blending in with the scenery, watching the storm that stirs the wind. I look at the man-made lake, and I sink my anger in. Like invisible stones, no longer pressing against my chest, lightening my mood. In this moment, I know I am the wildest thing in these woods. A cardinal scatters, and a clap of thunder nearly startles me into flame. I am grateful for the drops of rain that fall with the weight of fingers pressing piano keys, coating the trees, guarding them against potential fire and my toxic mood exchange. And I wonder if the transmuted rage of women everywhere is perhaps the most powerful cause of climate change. I know the sherbet-colored man would blame women for that too. Thank you.
Now I got to say, grazie, Regina. Okay. If you're feeling a little woozy right now, get ready. You're going to get awakened by Gladys May Bullock and Cheryl Russell.
I'm not a speaker, I'm a performer. And so I'm not accustomed to reading my work. I like for you to feel what I'm writing about. But oftentimes, can you hear me pretty well? I don't want anybody to be asleep. This is Cheryl Russell. She is the, she's the artist that, really, we met on our Wivler speed dating, and she liked how I spoke, and we said, we're gonna be partners, and here we are. But that was the easy part. I had a real tough time trying to decide how I was going to approach wild. And so when I write a piece, I don't just write a piece. It really resonates in my soul, because I want you to feel something I'm saying. I want you to get something out of what I am saying. And the only way that you can do that is for me to be authentically Gladys May Bullock. Now, for me to be able to be Gladys May Bullock, I had to go back to a place called Baytown Woods. Now, for many years, and it was really the woods, I was a little ashamed of where I grew up because it was really in the woods, and it was on a rugged, rocky road. But I didn't realize that that was giving me character, and that gave me a sense of who I am right now. As I hear the joyful birds singing and the smooth water falling, images of my memory flash of me playing on 2302 Avon Street on that rocky road. I did not collect, nor did I throw those rocks aside. Those rocks were to become a part of my lived experience. You see, those rocks then and now allowed me to resist all the spiritual and psychological wearing away of myself through the storms of life. You see, those rocks they didn't want to, but they needed to be free just like me to survive the abrasion, scratching, and crushing to eventually shine. And I'm going to tell you this evening, y'all, I'm shining this evening because each and every one of y'all are here to shine. Those are rocks. They were bittersweet, but they allowed me to go to the luscious green woods, free from chaos and judgment. You see, those old rugged rocks at 2302 Avon Street were preparing me when I knelt down as a child, playing on the ground for when I had to crawl and climb as an adult, weathering. Those are rocks. Those are rocks were things that kept me strong. Those rocks were vaster in my memory than the Serengeti. That's memories of those rocks. You see, those rocks were a pathway for my transformation of my surface, and it deepened my foundation of myself and my world. The mirror of those rocks continues to allow me to enjoy the luscious green woods.
Can I get a hallelujah? All right. Next we have Kathy Crawford and Carissa Barkus.
They're not. I was thrilled to work with Carissa on this collaboration. She's new to WIVLA, and I've always loved her work, and I was just thrilled to get that opportunity. All right, this is called It Was a Peculiar Patch of Sand. It was a peculiar patch of sand because it was wet. In 3049, water was man-made. The earth had been depleted of its fresh water, groundwater, and glaciers. To sustain human life, drinkable water was produced by pulling salt water through a Jamba filter. It was unthinkable for anyone alive at this time to waste a drop. Sarah saw the patch and wondered if it was urine. She walked over to smell it, crouching low. She brought her nose to the ground. No smell. It had to be water. Sarah found a nail file in her purse and began digging around the wet patch. She was eager to find the source. She knew finding water was the key to finding life, to sustaining life. As she dug in the earth, her neighbor Juna walked towards her and saw the wet patch. Was it a mirage? Sarah yelled at her to go back to town and get more people and shovels. Maybe Juna's fear of dying alone in the desert would not happen. If they could figure out how to tap into an underground river, they would survive. Thank you.
Next, we have Susan Powers and Donnie Langlois. Did I say it right?
Hello. This poem comes from, this is my friend Donnie, and she's amazing. That is her work back there. This poem comes from a place that I sit in frequently, and it has a really high, round window in kind of the second story. It's a solid wall except for this round window, and outside the window are pine trees, and you get to see the weather reflected in the pine trees. So if you can kind of have that in your head while listening. It's called Dryad Spring. Staccato water pellets answered by bass thunder. Drops of water roll down each needle shaft, joining, mingling, becoming one, heavy dropping to the littered floor to spread. Awakening the libido of the pines, uncounted phallic cones fill, expand, ejaculate in a burst of smoke, broadcasting their fecundity to the serendipitous universe. Tiny fires of self-propagation raging uncontrolled, root-bound lotharios swarming the forest, while the real-life dryads, spring-fed, couple in their shadows, seed mingling with the pines and the water.
Our next team is Lana Gamble and Mary Jean Carter.
All right. So I want to give a big thanks to my friends who came out tonight who have nothing to do with this organization. They came solely to support me and Mary Jean, and I love you and I thank you for that. So Mary Jean's painting is rooted in her family's experience of facing a devastating heart diagnosis and an unexpected gift of recovery. So my poem is a response to that. Love you. At first, you think I'm upside down, split open by light. Or maybe you mistake me for wings trying to remember flight. I am what you call a heart, but I do not stay contained in the shape you expect. 2 chambers bloom where I live, patterned and alive, as if I am always in the act of becoming visible. Light does that to me. It does not arrive gently. It cuts across, divides me, insists, being there through every broken edge. You try to manage me with instructions like, eat this, avoid that, slow down, stay steady. You measure me in rising and falling numbers, pulse and pressure, cholesterol, risk, like a weather report written over something you believe should be predictable. But I have never agreed to predictability. I move toward what you name danger. I trust what you call a beautiful mistake. I break and rebuild myself in cycles of illumination as if wholeness is not the point. Only movement, only becoming, Sometimes I am not only a heart, I become lungs. Sometimes inside you learning how to breathe through contradiction, through broken promises, through the wild risk of loving anything that cannot stay intact. And then it happens again. Light tears through me, not soft, not careful, not resolved. Splintered brilliance opening every edge I have. And in that moment, I understand myself. I am not undone. I am lit. I am what happens when light refuses to remain whole, and neither do I.
Our next team is Katherine McDaniel and Cora Salvino. I'm sorry, Liz Plaster and Susan Meeks. Got ahead of myself there.
Okay, no, I don't need a mic. I'm a preschool teacher. Many thanks to everybody who came. Many thanks to Clementi, my teacher, my husband, George, the master framer, and Lucy, my daughter, the IT specialist. And many thanks to Liz. We collaborated over teaching, poetry, and painting and friendship.
From December to May, I lost 6 people that I love. The first one was 92. It was her time. The last one was only 40, and she chose her time. Peering through the dirty window of my prison of grief, a fearless sunflower breaks through the concrete, unashamedly claiming her place in the sun. Grief-stacked pillows and blankets surround me, stained with tears. I burrow into their familiar comfort, curling inward and making myself invisible, small, unreachable, unwilling to claim the wild, powerful woman I once knew. I have pushed my friends away, my family, the world, clinging only to my loss. But lying here, surrounded by dirty laundry and a house veiled in dust, the sunflower's face draws me in. Her face becomes mine. My body aches to stretch again, to reach toward the warmth, to return to my life. And deep inside, a quiet voice awakens. Elizabeth, go outside. Walk among the flowers. Your wild, courageous spirit is in there somewhere. Find her in the light. Reach toward her. Be fearless. And for the first time in weeks, my authentic self pushes through the crack of my own personal sidewalk. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. That was beautiful. And now we have Katherine McDaniel and Cora Salvino.
Cora and I got together and we had so much fun. I got to see her workshop, and I love glass. Glass is luminous. And we had so much fun, and we were looking for something to work on, and we had 1,000,001 ideas. And then I was talking about Jamie's photograph, my other partner. I was talking about her photograph of a jellyfish. And Cora was like, I want to do jellyfish. And I was like, me too. And I didn't realize when I started this poem where it was going to go. My dad showed up, and I didn't expect him. It's a form called a zuihitsu. This is a Japanese form, and it's sort of stream of consciousness. So the idea is that it can go in and out of poetry and essay, and it just kind of goes where your brain goes. Helps you kind of get out of controlling things. This is called zuihitsu, mercy written into the body. Deep ocean wildness, jellyfish fluttering and undulating, scattering light or directing their own beams to communicate, to warn, to dazzle. Bodies that glow, bodies that speak without sound, bodies that are mostly water. Abundance fuels a natural cycle, warmth and prey triggering the bloom. Colonies of jellyfish polyps split into segments, detaching from the sea floor into open ocean, rapidly maturing into medusae, the adult. Resplendent in bloom, thousands of beings reach their fullness in the same moment, releasing clouds of sperm and egg into an ocean thick with beginnings, reseeding the sea floor for the next wave, the next bloom. Who would not envy that timing? The communal crescendo climaxing together in shared ripeness. Medusa, the woman no man could look upon and live, her hair a writhing mass of venomous snakes. This too is dangerous beauty, ropes of stinging cells, soft-looking, luminous, inviting. Are we blind to our desire for things that will kill us? Or does danger become more enticing after it has struck? Some jellyfish are capable of killing a human in minutes. Others leave evidence of their touch for years, decades, a lifetime. My father had such a welt, blooming upon his ankle in shades of purple and red from the caress of a Portuguese man-o-war while he was stationed in the Far East during the Korean War. The most visible of his scars, but not the most devastating. His deeper wounds were of mind and spirit, things he had seen that he could never unsee, unspeakable things, such that he slept with a loaded pistol tucked under the mattress beneath his head. Some wounds don't heal. Some become weather systems inside a person. Some pass in the blood between generations. But I digress. Or perhaps that is the point. How is it in the closeness of the bloom, jellyfish do not sting one another? Flashing tentacles, bright with danger, are governed by chemoreceptors, reading the chemical signatures of whatever they touch. Brushing against a neighbor, they recognize the body as kin, and the stinging cells do not strike. Built-in mercy. biological stay of wrath. Only a few species of jellyfish prey on their own kind. The rest are incapable of friendly fire. What a blessed relief to have mercy written into the body instead of the conscience. If only we possessed such a mechanism, some deep instinctive recognition that the one beside us is human, is ours, is not to be harmed. We call ourselves civilized, praising our fleeting mercy as if to be human is to be good. And yet we fail to bloom with kindness, forgetting that it is where our colors touch, where our auras react or blend, that something new begins. There, as Rumi says, the light enters. We could absorb each other's heat and become more ourselves through contact, yet we continue to fight. Is it because we fear wounding? Or perhaps we relish the excitement of wounding others before they wound us? Take my hand. I will not sting. Let us see what colors bloom.
Our last presenter tonight is Ellen Seaton. Come on up, Ellen. And her partner is Lucy Care.
Lucy and I had not met before we teamed up for this, and it became very obvious very quickly that as I looked at her work, I just went, oh, she gets me, and you know, some of you know that can be a little hard, but thank you very much. It was a pleasure. It really was. Kindred spirits. And I was almost going to give a trigger warning tonight because I talk about, war and death and those, little topics. But I think with everybody else who's gone before me, this is going to seem quite mild. Anyway, the piece is called Wailing and Lamenting. Hell is empty and all the devils are here, Sorsha said to no one in particular. Willow added, ah, yes, the tempest. That's true when there are people around, fewer and fewer these days. Of course, that keeps you extra busy. All the death, destruction, Sorsha said as she pointed to Willow's standard Grim Reaper's outfit, including a black robe and scythe. This was quite the contrast from the Banshee's uniform of gray material, layered and layered at least 10 times. Walking along where a dense forest used to be in the highlands of Scotland, Willow could easily walk on the hard, dry dirt with her skeleton feet, but Sorsha had skin on her feet and wore banshee shoes, which were really little more than gray ballet slippers. She spent part of her time floating, but didn't want to waste all of her energy. The two had quite a ways to travel. High above their heads flew a large black bird. It flew straight to the two companions and landed on Willow's scythe. Raven, you've come a long way, and we've been waiting for you. Did you get a chance to survey Cuba? What's left of it. Half the island is gone, and there are no people left on the other half. I could see the remnants of both soldiers and citizens, most being picked over by vultures. I also visited parts of northwestern United States. I did not see one bear. There were a few wolves, but not many. How can you kill a bear and not a wolf? The weapons being used now are so strange, they destroy everything within a checkerboard pattern. Sorcia looked up at Raven with her large, hollow black eyes. The only animal creatures benefiting from these ongoing wars are the vultures. I don't know where they live when they're not flying around and feasting. Willow stopped for a moment and looked around at the vast wasteland surrounding them on all sides. I miss a good breeze. It's almost as if my skull could get sunburned and it's all bone. Sorcia, how do you manage with your long hair? Sorcia put a hand on Willow's shoulder as they continued their journey. Yes, I do. I try to keep it down while I'm working and then put it up when I'm in between wailings and screeches. I know folks have come to expect banshees with very long gray locks. By the way, Sorcia continued, I'm still getting lots of feedback from the other banshees about not being able to keep up with the workload. Of course, the families of the soon-to-be deceased don't like to hear our songs, but it does help them with their grieving. They are not caught off guard when the telegram of doom shows up bearing the bad news. Your government regrets to inform you that your loved one suffered yet another wasteful death in a war fought for nothing. Well, that's not exactly what the telegram actually says, but sometimes it feels like it does. Willow nodded. The Grim Reapers are also having trouble with their caseloads. Sometimes the newly dead are still in shock and not ready to move on. Either we assist them on their way or they can remain spirits for generations. Others are relieved they've died. They're ready to get there. For us, it's just that so many of the deceased need escorts. They might want one more look at earthbound family members. So many more deceased than there are available escorts. Raven flapped his wings and said, well, then I have some good news for you, and we should start seeing the evidence very soon. I recruited over 100 of the deceased who are waiting for other assignments, and they agreed to serve as reapers for the rest of these wars. Also, I recruited all of the spirits who, with either Irish or Scottish heritage. Yes, they will wail and cry out for everyone. Those ghosts are experts at their art. Just as Raven finished talking, Willow looked up to find a team of Grim Reapers with recently deceased in tow. They were followed by a flock of ravens that escorted the flying cadre of the dead. Then Sorcia heard it. From every corner of the earth, banshees were wailing and crying. The sound that moved through the leafless branches of the tree over her head was melancholy and sad, but beautifully executed.
I'm just blown away. I don't know about you, but that was just, everything was so thoughtful and real in each one of the poems and stories. So let's give our writers another hand right now. And of course, our visual artists who created this beautiful. Right now, I'd like to call Melody Locke up to the podium for a special announcement. Melody is the oil that makes the engine of WIVLA run smoothly. And thank you so much for all you do to maintain the excellence of WIVLA.
Oh, my pleasure.
So I've been very close to the art and the literary pieces in this show
for a while, ever since everybody had to turn it in, because I've been putting together the catalog that goes with this. So not only do we get to enjoy the show here, but you can take a piece of it home in a book. And so each of the artists and the writers get a complimentary catalog. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the amazing assistance of the two editors, Katherine McDaniel and Kay McStay. I don't know if Kay is here. There's so many people, but Katherine is. You've seen her twice. I've laughed and cried as I worked on the catalog, and kind of again tonight listening. There's nothing like hearing the writers read their pieces. It's horribly moving. One of the joys that I get with putting together the catalog is that I get to choose what goes on the front and the back of the catalog. So it's the one payment that I get. So I had a difficult time choosing. As you can tell, the artwork is just stunning. To help me willow it down, I always choose a landscape orientation. So that narrowed it a little bit, but I kept coming back to Jamie Frontiera's piece. Where is she? And I guess I don't see her. She's here someplace. Okay, she's sitting. Okay. And the back is a literary piece, and that is Current History by Dedra Murchison. So I have your two books here. The rest of them, in case you were wondering what that seemingly empty table was in the back, is a tablecloth over all of the books. There's little bookmarks that have your name on it. They're in alphabetical order by last name. So please, if you're here, and you can hear my voice, pick up your book. Those of you that are in two teams, you get 2 books. Okay? And we have extras that you can purchase as well for $15. So I will remove the tablecloth and you can go grab your books. Thank you so much for these entries.
There's so many people I'd like to thank tonight while you're getting up and moving around. So many volunteers that made this happen. They don't just happen. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Please enjoy some more refreshments and go around and look at the art, talk to the artists, ask them their stories. Every piece of art here has a story behind it. Thank you so much. Good night.